Hello YouTube, welcome back to my video. So in this video we are going to check how to pass a JSON response using Java. So we'll be checking how to pass a simple JSON response and how to pass a nested JSON response using Java. So trust me, this is the simple way you can pass a JSON response using Java. Okay, so we'll be testing this passing the JSON response with the help of two web services which is available online free of cost. So we'll be testing with the help of a website known as ipinfodb.com. ipinfodb.com has a web service which will return us a JSON response for the HTTP request with we have passed with the IP address, current IP address. So it will return a JSON response with the country code and the time zone and other information regarding the IP address. So we'll be testing that, and the next one we'll be testing is the Google Map API. So it is also a web service for which we will pass an HTTP request with current latitude and longitude, the coordinates, and will return us the response with the details of, the address and all the possible address and other information from the Google Map API. Okay, so we'll be testing these both. First, let me show you the ipinfodb.com. So as I told, we'll test the HTTP request through the browser and read the JSON response from the browser itself, and then we'll move forward to the Java program in my Eclipse ID. Okay, so let me just log in the ipinfodb.com. So you have to sign up here. So it's a basic sign up. You have to input your information here. So just go to accounts, and here you can just log in with your username and password. So after you signed up, you will get an API key here. Okay, so this is the API key here by which you have to pass your HTTP request. So here you can see here IP location API is there. Just click on that, and where you can see here this is HTTP request link, and the parameters is as of key, and the IP address is there, and we can further the parameters is specified here. We can pass like key IP address format and the callback if required. So we are not having the callback. Now we'll set the format as JSON here. First let me copy this link completely and pasting it here, and we'll pass that as HTTP request, and here it is the response. So it's not in the JSON format, so we can set the JSON format as copy the format as the parameter and give ampersand format is equal to JSON. Here it is. Okay, so if I'm passing it as the HTTP request with parameter format as JSON, so here it is. This is the JSON response of this HTTP request, and this is shown in my browser. So we'll move forward to the Java program, and we'll pass this using Java code. Okay, so this is my Eclipse IDE. I have a project, a Java project. The name of the Java project is pass JSON response, where inside my package com.jellyfx.com there is a class get location from IP. So first one we are going to test this one. So in this one I have a main method here, and in which I have set inside this one I have set the IP address, a static IP address, and this is my API key, and I'm just putting the HTTP request with the key and IP as the parameters, and the parameters format as JSON. So this is HTTP request we are passing to this link, and I'm just reading the response as string. Okay, so this is the string. So from here it will print out the response which is taken from this JSON response, and it will print the value as string from here. Okay, so let's try this running. So to run this, just right click on the project, and just select run as Java application, and just wait for your project to get started. Okay? Yes, the project has been executed, and as you can see here the JSON response of the IP address has been printed here, and this is the same JSON response which we got here. Let's check it. So country name is United States and the region name is Oklahoma, and same here it is, country name is United States and the region name is Oklahoma. So I will move further to pass this JSON response. So we got this as a string now, so we'll have to import a JSON jar into our project, because we have to the conversion of the string to JSON is a string, a JSON object is done by a jar, JSON jar. So I'm just importing that into my build path or the project. So for that, just right click on the project, go to build path, configure build path, and here you can see here a button to add external jar. Just click on that and just navigate to the location where your Java JSON is there. So in my PC it's in this path, so just enter here and just press enter. Here it is, Java JSON jar. Just double click on that and import to your project. Okay, now just click OK and it will come in your reference libraries. Now here we have to convert that this string to JSON object instance, and just create it as a JSON object equals new JSON object, and we have to pass the string inside this. Okay, and by this code we have just converted that JSON string into a JSON object. Now from this JSON object we have to call each parameter or each variable from this response one by one. Now we have to get each variable or each parameter according to their type. So by looking this response, we can say that each one of these is a string type. As you can see, if it is string, it will be uh, be, inside a double quotes. Here it is. Okay, so I can just call each variable like as a get string. Okay, now in my next example it won't be a get string, because the response may have object arrays and integers and double values, everything will be there. So this is the basic example, so I just shown you this one. So let's call each of these variables from the code and print all the values. So it will be like, I have just coded to print all the variables or all the values from the JSON response. You can see here I'm just getting that as get string to this JSON object, from this JSON object, and I'm just printing each values one by one. Okay, so now let me print this one. So let us execute this one and see the output again. So if I'm just running it as Java application, here it is. So each of that I mean this response has been complete converted into a JSON object, and this was as a string, it is converted JSON object, and that JSON object is passed, and we got all the variables printed here. Okay, now this is a straightforward, like there is no nested branches or any arrays in there. Let's check. I'll show you one sample JSON response which is a big one and have nested branches inside that. Let's check how we can convert or how we can pass that nested JSON response. Now, as I told, this is the second project which I'm going to test, or which I'm going to pass using Java. So this is the JSON response I got for an HTTP request which I have sent to Google Map API. So this is basically, as I told, this will return the current coordinate, all the possible address of any coordinates which we are sending. So this is the coordinate which we passed to as HTTP request, and this is the response. Now we have to pass this one, I mean this response, using our Java code. Okay, so this is a little bit confusing. I'll explain how everything is done. So you can see this web service. Just go to Google and search for Google Map API, and once you search it, you will get the first link itself, Google Map API. Just click on that, and you should be logged in. If you are not logged in, just log in. So after login, just click get started, and you can see here down various web service API which Google Map is providing us. So I have just used this one, Google Map Geocoding API. So inside that one, actually there is an web service which we can pass, like this is the one. No, this is not the one. Down here it is. So if we are passing that lat and long like this one, and with your API key. So you can get your API key here. Just click on get key and create a project if you don't have any project, and just select any one of project and just click enable API. So it'll get generate an API key for your project. So you can just copy paste this one with your API key in your browser, and you will get this response. Okay, so this is that one, the way I have generated or have passed the HTTP request and got my response. Now let's go and parse this one. So as the same project, I have just I have created another class here. So this one is this one, get the coordinate location. Inside this one I have just set my key as a a string variable, and in the URL I'm just passing the geocode here, and here it is geocode, and the key is here. And the same way it's printing our response as a string value here. Okay, so let's try this one. Click on the project and select run as Java application and wait for the project to be executed. Here it is. So as you can see here, the response is completely printed as a string value here. Now let's try as I shown here. I'm just first converting this to a JSON object. So let me copy this one, paste it here, and yes, we have just converted all these response into a JSON string, I mean JSON object. Now we have to check what all the variables, what all the return type of this JSON object. So the best way to check what is the return type, or what is the variable, what are the variable type available in your project, we can check online itself with our response. So the best website for it is jasononlineeditor.org. Just open this website, where you can simply copy your JSON response, which you have a string. Just press Ctrl A, copy it completely, come back to here, paste in this side, just paste everything as it is, and just click on this button. So it will be formatted on the right side of the screen. So basically this is our object, I mean this is our response. So the response, you can see here, the type is an object. So actually we have just, this is the response, and first we are converting that response to an object, and then just expand this one. So in this object there is two variables. First one is the results. So let's check what is the type of the result. So if you are just clicking here and see here, the type is of array, and here if you are clicking this one, this is type is auto, which means whatever it will depend upon the variable key value of the status. So it's okay, means it can be treated as a string. Okay, now the result, it can be stated as a JSON array only. You can see here it's an array. Now just come back to our project. Now from here just create a JSON array object. So it will be like JSON array obj JSON array. We have just created a new JSON array object, and from this one JSON object, just get that JSON array. So it will be like just JSON array, and the key value is this one, the results. Just copy that and paste it here, and let's try printing this one. Let me comment this one first. Now if I'm just printing this JSON array, let's see what is coming. So it should print the JSON array only. Yes, you can see here the value printed is of the JSON array only. So we have just entered inside this one, the JSON array only. So you can see here there are 10 values. Let's check the values, I mean how many elements are there in that. So if I'm just clicking as giving the println for the length of the JSON array. So just copy this one and just click length dot length. Here it is. So if I'm just printing this one, it should say there is 10 values here. Yes, the value is 10. Now let's go inside and take any of the elements. So I'm going to take the fifth element here. So in this fifth element, this is what type. Just go and check, this is of object type. So we can just retrieve this element as an object, and let's see how it can be done here. So I'm just creating a new JSON object because it is a new JSON object. So let me copy this till here, and this is actually an object 2. And to get the fifth element, you can use it like copy the object array and just click and get JSON object, and you have to pass the index. So the index here is 5. Okay, let's see. So it will take the fifth element of the JSON response, and let's try printing this one. So just give a value like element fifth, element 5. Now again I'm just printing that it here object 2. Now let's try running this one. It should print me the element fifth value. Yes, it has printed the element fifth value. As you can see, the formatted address is Brooklyn NY 1125 USA. Here it is. The formatted address is Brooklyn NY. If it is 4, it's different. Okay, so we got the element fifth. Now we can enter inside this fifth element and check each keys and values separately. Now the address object is of type array. You can see here. Let's check here. Yeah, it's type array. Okay, I just want to go inside this one and get this value long name. So we'll first take the address object element, and inside that there is one more array, right? No, inside there is object. Now first we can take this address components array. So let me copy this one, come back to our project. Now I'm going to create a new JSON array object. So it's like a JSON array object, and the name I'm giving it as address components array. And it can be taken from this one, element 5. Just paste this one and get JSON array, and we can put the name here as no, we can name the put here as address components. Okay, so we got that address components array. So inside the address components array there is this one of type of object. Okay, so we'll take the object zeroth object here. Okay, so we can take yes, we can take the zeroth object here. So it will be like again a JSON object we should create. So it's a JSON object 3, and it's the zeroth object. So just get JSON object 0, and we got the JSON object till here, 0 JSON object. So I'm going to print the long name and short name here, so which can be directly called as a string. Okay, as you can see, it's string. So I'm just going to print that two terms here, system.out.println. So just get the string, and the value is this one, long name, and the second value is the short name. Let me print that here. This is a long name, and this is a short name. Okay, so it will print the long name and short name. We have reached inside this one. Okay, let me print this. Let me try running this one, and let's see the output again. Yes, you can see here the long name and short name has been printed according to this one. Now let me take the formatter address. The formatter address is of type auto, so we can take it as string. So it's from the array 5, so it will be like this one, from object 2. I'm just printing that value, system.out.println dot get string, and we can paste the key as the formatter address here, and I'm just putting it here. Okay, formatter address. Now what we have to print, this place geometry is same like this one, which we taken from here. We can first take the geometry as type object, and from inside this one you can take the bounds as object. Okay, so it's simple, you can just go inside one by one. You can take the parent object and go inside one by one in the sequential order and get till the last value. So I'm not going to do that also, because it's same as we had done, so I'm not going to do that. So I have just printed the formatter address. Now let me take the place ID. It's also a string, I guess. To check it, what is the return type, just go, no, it's an auto. I think it will run with the string value. So here it is. Now let's try running this. If you are running as a Java application, and wait, here it is, all the values has been printed as per our need, as we have coded. So I'm not going to code every values in this. It will be a big long one. So hope you got this, how to pass a nested JSON object, I mean nested JSON string, and how to convert that into a JSON object using Java, and pass till the nested branch to the last value or to the last branch, how to get that one by one. So the best JSON online parser is this one, JSON editoronline.org. So you can use this to pass any JSON response. Hope you got this. If you have any doubt in this, please comment below. I'll be helping you. I'll share all the source codes and all the sites I have used here in my description. You can have it. And please like and subscribe for my videos, and thanks for watching.